Hey cool kids, how's it going? We got a special Zcast. Couldn't sleep. It's currently 5:18 a.m. and when I can't sleep I get on and I work those rocks. So we're playing Meteor Scatter right now. Let me adjust the camera just a little bit. So this is on the 6-meter band, my favorite band. There we go, a little better. So what are we doing here? We have two programs up right now. The top is a antiquated chat program that still works just fine. This is called PJ Client, and it is an interface to a website called Ping Jockey. It's an old CGI forms-based chat room that all the hams that run Meteor Scatter use. So when you want to bounce signals off of ionized meteor trails in the early morning, late night, whatever you want to call it, you get on Ping Jockey and you coordinate it. You don't have to, but it's really useful these days. In the bottom, I have the actual program that's going to be doing the communicating, called WSJTX. And this has a special mode here called MSK144. And it's specifically built to be able to communicate on those very short-lived trails. So a lot of the slow digital modes that people are familiar with, basically it's a long transmission. It's like 15 seconds and you have to copy the whole thing to get any information. Meteor Scatter takes a different approach because the propagation paths that we're going to be using are extremely short-lived. Basically what we do is we use a wideband signal, so it's like big 2000 hertz wide blast of sound, and instead of, I guess a good analogy would be some of the other digital modes scream your name very slowly, in the hopes that somebody can listen very carefully and copy the whole thing. And with this, we don't want to scream it slowly, because the whole thing's not going to get through. So we use a lot of power. I got the radio at full power. It's pretty much a requirement. I got 100 watts going here. And we scream our names about 11 times a second. In the hopes that one of those will get through. Because when those paths do open up, when a meteor comes in and hits the atmosphere at just the right angle, the ionized trail is going to be very, very good at reflecting signals. So we don't have to deal with a weak signal. It'll be relatively strong. So the advantage is gained by that wideband mode that does a whole bunch of calls per second, and hopefully we'll get one through. So that's a little breakdown of what's involved here. I haven't gotten any pings yet. I've been on for about 10 or 15 minutes, but I'm about to fire it up here. We have several people calling, several people active. I hear a couple weak ones. Yep, see, there was one. Gotta adjust the waterfall so they pop out just right. There's another one. These aren't very strong. Currently just pointed straight east. I'm going to try going a little bit farther north, about 60 degrees from Denver. There we go. I'm not drinking coffee because I do intend to take a nap later. Don't want to screw up the sleep schedule too badly. So. We're going to transmit first, because how it works is that if you're pointed anywhere between 0 and 180 degrees, you transmit what's called first, which means, so we use 15-second transmit and receive periods. So I'm going to be transmitting at 0 seconds and 30 seconds, and then listening at 15 and 45 seconds. So if I was pointed west, I would be transmitting on 15 and 45, and listening on 0 and 30. And that's just the convention that we all use. So that, A, you know when to listen, because the bulk of this communication is on east-west paths, because of the way the Earth's rotating and the trails come in. It's much easier to make an east-west contact than it is a north-south one, though it is possible. They're not, like, there's not that much directionality on these, but it's a lot easier to contact somebody at roughly your same latitude than it is to go, like, way north or south. We'll take a real quick look. Yeah. All those are meteor scatter contacts. Actually, this fellow down in North Carolina, he went north a little bit. He got Michigan there. That's not bad. So there's a little bit of buzz going on. A little bit of activity. So I'm going to go ahead, for the first transmission here, I'm going to go ahead and turn my transmit audio monitor on so you can hear what the mode sounds like. And then I'll run it off, because generally I keep the monitor off when I'm running this, because it is a very abrasive, loud sound. So, there we go. Let's go ahead and fire it up. And that was really loud in my ears. Oh, I'm using the wrong sound card. More specifically, I have the wrong one panned up on the mixer. There we go. And again, the monitor's turned way low right now, because it's super, super hard on the ears. Not meant to be listened to by human beings. I'm gonna go ahead and turn that monitor off now. And just listen to the nice chill white noise coming in. I've made several dozen contacts on Meteor Scatter over the past few years. It's very hard for me to get up this early, so I actually enjoy it when I have a little insomnia and I can get on and kind of mess with things. Generally, when you hear the noise level go up a little bit, that means there's a trail. Sometimes they're not intense enough, though. And it's kind of interesting. There's enough RF going around the shack right now, because I'm shitting out 100 watts to a directional antenna that's on that side of the house. And it's aimed directly back at me. I mean, it's, 20 feet up, but when I talk, I can hear a little bit of the RF. Like if I talk, you can hear a little bit of the modulation going on just because my mic lines are getting a little hot. But it's super faint, and the noise gate takes care of it. Hopefully we'll have some luck here. QRG is your frequency, QTF is your heading. This is basically just a chat macro generator here. So, ooh, there's a big one. There we go. Nice big pings there. Big ROX. So the goal is to statistically hit a meteor for each one of these exchanges. So I was sending CQ. He's replying with his grid here. My next goal is to get this one through. He hasn't heard it yet, because I can tell, because he's still sending this one. So you basically just let it repeat until you can proceed with the next step of the contact. So I need to reply with my signal report back to him. And then he'll reply with R and his signal report back to me. And at that point, the contact is technically complete. There's some chat that the Lyrid meteor shower is starting to heat up a little bit. You can work this any night of the year. We get ROX coming in every single morning. But if you're operating during a meteor shower, it's much easier because there's just statistically a much higher chance of one hitting the atmosphere at the right angle. Huge. It's a patience thing. Like he's not mad because he has to repeat it. We just have to run for a few minutes until we are lucky enough to basically get a trail for each one of these exchanges back and forth. Sometimes it takes a half hour or longer. But our clocks are NTP synced. So we know exactly when to transmit and when to listen. During like a big meteor shower, there's a bunch of different frequencies that people use because only one contact. Well, let me rephrase. For a given trail, you don't want people transmitting on top of each other on the same frequency, because then you can't really decode. Nobody gets a contact then. So people will spread out to different frequencies when there's a lot of activity. Look at all those pings. So each one of those is a different meteor hitting the atmosphere at just the right angle to where it makes that ionized trail. We got it. That's what it looks like. Psi sent CQ. He replied with his grid. I replied with my signal report to him a few times. He said R, which means he received that, and my signal report. And then we said 7-3. And I'm going to log this. That was done. That's how you work meteor scatter. That's what it sounds like. So go ahead and clear. I'm gonna spin a little bit clockwise. That was about 66 degrees. Let's see where he's at. North Dakota. Neat. The frickin' Flex, one of the most overpriced and overspec'd piece of shit radios on the market. He's not being super serious there. Oof, maybe he is. More recently, I've been experimenting with RTL dongles, a little $20 stick. This guy's kind of funny. Go to ND0B's page on QRZ for some laughs. Alright. Oh, we got N9RD here. Let's call back and see if we can land that contact. A lot of windows here and the UI is kind of clunky. So this guy's at 76 degrees. Only 10 degrees off, but I'll go ahead and go back a little bit. It's kind of weird here because during those transmit cycles, everything goes silent, right? This radio switches to transmit. I don't have the transmit monitor on, but that's really when I'm just cranking out, tons of RF. We don't have ears for that though, but it would be very deafening in here if we did. Oh, there's a ping. Oh, N0LL. I believe he's over in Nebraska, so we heard him talking to the guy that I just was talking to. And he's saying RRR, which means I got it. That might be a better layout. N0LL has a big station. Not surprised that I heard them. You're not seeing any chat because I decided to not stream this. This is strictly an offline video. Nargle is so confused. Dad, what are you doing up this early? Let that go for a few more minutes. Generally, this times out after 10 minutes of a transmission without the sequence progressing. I'll just let it run for 10. Maybe I'll squeeze one through for N9 RD. Indiana. Oh, neat. In German. I heard a couple weak pings there. None of them strong enough for a decode, though. Need a lot of signal to get this. Bob in Illinois just heard a station up in the northeast. Oh. Mike over in Utah heard me off the back of the beam. Spin that antenna around. Let's look at Utah. So now we're going to be calling second. That contact was a bust, trying to talk to N9RD. So now we're pointing at 300 degrees, 290 actually. Yeah. Oh. Forgot to switch my timing on there. There we go. Now we're good. So we'll transmit on 15 and 45 now. Mike out in Utah is going to be listening during 15 and 45 and transmitting during 0 and 30. One nice thing about operating is that a lot of the the RF noise of industry and life in general doesn't exist at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. So I can have the preamp on maximum on the radio, basically listening as hard as I can here. There we go. Loud. Is a good one. Whoops. So I reply to him with my signal report. I'm gonna shout that until he gets it and then says, "R, here's your signal report." This might be fast. Might be slow. It's all up to just the random statistics of the heavens. Yep, he heard me. So as far as an actual communication method goes, it's not very power efficient. You have to transmit lots of power for minutes at a time in order to get just a little bit through. There's a faint one there. Cool. He heard me and replied with my signal report. Log it. So yeah, it was just a little sample of what we do when we play with these ROX here. That's what it sounds like, and it's kind of the operation mode. It's very chill. You can just kind of hang out and keep an eye on chat, and make good friends here. Cause it's a small gang, but they're very dedicated to this. You get up and you start cranking out contacts, and you made some friends for life. Because you gotta have tight coordination. You know, you gotta know exactly when to transmit. You gotta know. You gotta know what you're doing. So, thanks for watching my little video here. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. I'm gonna keep operating, but change my mind. I think I'm gonna go make some coffee, stay up for a little bit. So, here's the end of our special Matty Zcast offline video featuring magic rocks from the sky and bouncing signals off them. Meteor scatter fun. Everybody have a good one. Bye.